Tell us about when you met Bill Clinton. What was the circumstance? You were working at a dinner with Bill Clinton or
It's
something?
the toughest show. Whenever somebody said, what's the toughest show you ever had to do? Many years ago, a guy named Lou Weisbach, it was in the 90s, in Chicago, he called me. He said, Tom, I'm having Bill Clinton at my home, 85 people, I want you to perform that night.
Tough kid. It's probably a fundraiser or something.
Well, yeah, and so I said, sure, because you're a Chicago boy. I flew in from Los Angeles, and meanwhile, the White House contacted me twice. A real smart young punk in the White House calls me, and what material are you going to do? And I said, I don't know what material. You don't know what material? I said, no, I have no idea. When I get there, he called me again. He said, have you made up your mind what material? I said, I don't know what material.
What are they nervous about?
Well, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
When I got to the house, he comes up to me, he's very arrogant. He said, Mr. Dreesen, we don't want anything topical, anything political. You don't want...
Really?
I said, you don't want me to do Monica Lewinsky jokes, is that what you're saying? He said,
sure.
He said, that's right. I said, gosh, there goes 45 minutes of my act. I don't know. But I had no jokes like that. I had more respect for the president. I said, but I wouldn't tell him what material, so now he's mad. So he said to me, well, Mr. Dreesen, yeah, he said, after dinner, Mr. Weisbach will speak, the owner of the House. He said, Mr. Grossman, head of the Democratic National Committee, will speak. Senator Carl Moseley Braun will speak. Senator Dick Durbin will speak. The president will speak, and then you'll speak.
Well, there's nobody left.
That's what I said. I said, you want me to
cleared.
follow the leader of the free world? The King of England doesn't follow the President of the United States. I said, this isn't my first rodeo, you know.
Yeah.
They're going to be gone after he's done.
You didn't tell me it was a rodeo.
Well, I didn't either. But I said, who am I going to talk to? The wall? He said, well, that's the way the White House wants it.
Wow.
So now, I'm kind of sore. And Mr. Weisbach, Lou, said to me, Tom, you want to meet the president? I said, yeah. I went over and he said, Mr. President, it's Tom Dreesen. He said, I'm looking forward to your presentation. I said, I want to make a deal with you, Mr. President. And he said, you want to make a deal with me? I said, yes. I won't walk out on your presentation if you don't walk out on mine.
Ah, smart.
He
Very
said,
shrewd.
now he laughed. He said, sounds good to me. So evidently he didn't know what this guy was concocting. Now, they all spoke. And it went on and on. And I'm in the back of the room, and I'm not a nervous comedian. I'm always very calm. I enjoy doing stand-up. But I'm thinking, oh, my God, I'm following the President of the United States. I grew up on the south side of this city in a shack. Now I'm going to follow, and I'm getting a little bit nervous. He gets a standing ovation. He does 45 minutes off the top of his head. Now, I rush behind him because I think they're all going to walk out.
Sure.
The aide comes up to me and said, Mr. President, I think you should leave now. He doesn't know I'm behind him. And he said, no, if I walk out, he said, they'll walk out on Tom. Tom Dreesen's going to speak after me. He said, I don't want to walk out. He said to the audience, please be seated, be seated. He said, now let's see what the comedian has to say. And he sat there, and you know when there's a celebrity in the audience, they all watch to see if he's laughing. Everything I did, he'd pound the table, he'd laugh, you know. And it went real well. And afterward, I told him, I said, I thought the year's opening for Frank Sinatra was a big deal for me. But having the President of the United States open for me,
now, what was the
that's
name of
pretty big deal.
That's right.